So straight ahead, second exit. So remember, get that.
Yeah,
Prep the car back when you stop, yeah?
This is a driving instructor conducting a driving lesson, and this is also analysis compilation number 24. Let's have a look at this clip. My viewer and their student are on this 40 miles an hour dual carriageway, and quite soon we'll have a police car approaching from behind. The vehicles in lane 2 spot the police car quite nicely, and this allows the police car to have a clear route through. They don't have to slow down very much. Do you think this should be a problem for the learner driver? Well, I'll go through it in a moment. One thing that you should always do when any emergency service is approaching from behind is look at their signals to see where they're going. This police car hasn't put a left signal on, so surely they must be going ahead.
Off the brake, off the brake, off the brake, off the brake.
Terrible driving by the police officer. Their planning was atrocious and it put members of the public at high risk. You probably noticed that there was a short slip road for this road on the left. Notice where this can be spotted from the driving school vehicle. And the police car's still overtaking, and don't forget it's without a left signal. The police car should have already been in lane 1 in my opinion. The police driver did signal, but it was only at this point. The driving instructor did an excellent job. They were really switched on. We can also see the police driver couldn't even make the radius of their left turn. Quite simply, must do better. And now the driving instructor's got to deal with the only thing that we can't stop pupils doing: braking. Everything else can be overridden and sorted out, but when the pupil stands on the brake pedal, it's only verbal instruction that can fix this.
Off the brake, off the brake, off the brake, off the brake.
It's a good job the driver of this BMW was following at a good distance and were able to suss it out.
Jesus Christ. Drives to the left.
In quiet residential areas near the homes, people often switch off. My viewer keeps alert though and spots the problem up ahead with the meeting traffic situation and correctly holds back. Watch both the drivers behind though. Oops. Let's go through this and find out how it happened. When the meeting situation becomes visible, we can see a car reversing into a space, and the further car has arrived at the situation before my viewer, but has it already conceded priority? Should my viewer have moved? But the driver of the vehicle behind simply doesn't plan far enough. My viewer's not even too close to the curb, so it would be misleading that they were parked. A right signal to deter the people behind may have also been a problem to the vehicle in front. But do you think my viewer not going had any part in this? The driver of the white Fiesta is simply following the Peugeot's number plate, and as you can hear, no horn is used. The driver of the red Peugeot simply stuck it into reverse and started going backwards before they observed. And with the white Fiesta being so close, this was always going to happen. You can see the driver's hand is to his head when he realises the mistake he's made. Yet again, impatience causes a collision. My viewer sent this clip in saying that the police were wrong. Unfortunately, it's my viewer that makes the mistake. This is Hunter Street, approaching Islington in Liverpool, and we've got a big multi-lane junction. And what goes on in this clip is something that I've witnessed regularly, and it's down to a lack of understanding of the road markings. And it's this one that's key. This effectively means this road is heading off. Pretty obviously it's to the right because it's to the right side of the road. So because my view is to the left of this line, they should go straight. But I'm pretty sure people just see the arrows and think, well, I can go the way that I'm pointing. And that's not the case. Look a little further and we can see clearly the two sections of road. My viewer goes to the right side when they were positioned to go to the left side. The police car, which was in the right lane, had the choice of either of these lanes, so actually drove impeccably. It's my viewer that was wrong, like I've said. So it's time to own your mistake, hold your hands up, and just make sure it doesn't happen the following time. I hope that helped everyone else as well. Remember that marking can be on either side of the road. And if you didn't know this, don't worry, because like I said, it happens to me all the time at that same junction. Another viewer's clip. I'm going to let you watch through this one first.
To deal with various ice situations, where now the BEV world is different, and that could, I think, could open up.
Right now, though, it's time to get down to brass tacks on Make Me a Winner. Somebody is going to win £200,000. Let's hand it over to Patty to see who that is.
You're not even close. You weren't even there.
Do you think my viewer had a point? I don't. Let's have a look at it. This is a pretty standard traffic calming measure that we see all over the country, and the other people from the opposite direction have priority, which effectively means when you proceed you shouldn't make them change speed or direction. Let's have a look to see whether my viewer does this. Pretty obviously the first three vehicles are fine because my viewer waits behind the giveaway line, but it's the fourth one that we're looking at. Does my viewer make this other driver alter what they do? And a simple, straightforward answer is yes. But there's a little bit extra I'd like to add to this. If my viewer had started and this oncoming vehicle wasn't visible, for example, if it was just over the brow, my viewer should be left to continue. But that wasn't the case here. And this obviously makes my viewer in the wrong, but the oncoming driver does not make it a non-event. They try and reprimand and tell my viewer off, which is also the wrong thing to do.
It's time to get down to brass tacks on Make Me a Winner. Somebody is going to win £200,000. Let's hand it over to Patty to see who that is.
You're not even close. You weren't even there. I don't agree with what she just did.
No, absolutely not.
I wonder whether, after this video, my viewer thinks a little differently. I sincerely hope so. Before we look at the main footage, I'd like to just make a little point about this sign. Which of these two hazards is going to come first, the bridge or the side entrance? I always got taught that if you laid the sign down flat in a direction you're travelling, that would be the order in which they should appear. But unfortunately, it's not consistently enough like that. All I can really advise is you know both of these hazards are coming up. Either could be first. Both of these hazards are going to play a massive part in the collision up ahead. I'd also like to say a massive thanks to everyone who's purchased a VFO dashcam with the links in the description. I can spot the footage a mile off, and if you use the code Ashley, you're going to be able to save yourself a further 5%.
Oh my god! Me. Oh. Alright, we need to stick there, okay?
Well done to my viewer for pulling over and giving assistance. First thing on my mind would be to warn the oncoming traffic over the other side of this bridge. And if I was driving this opposite way, I would wait where this blue car is waiting now. Put my hazards on, get out, and make sure I was making sure the risk from behind wasn't going to be a problem. This was where the Golf ended up, and this is what the Honda looked like. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries. But what transpired to make this collision happen? I think the Honda came over the bridge a little fast, but honestly, it was this emerge that caused most of the issues. I'm only guessing here, but with the queue in front, I think maybe this Golf to the right had been flashed out or beckoned out, and they just seemed to go for it.
Oh my god! Me.
And just an extra point to finish, I wonder whether there were some warning signs prior to the bridge warning of the bridge and this side entrance. Anyway, it's pretty pointless because no one reads signs anyway, do they? Or at least pays attention to them. Keep safe everyone. I'll see you soon.